So, hello everyone. Hello Ada, how are you doing? And why don't you start with introducing who is Ada and how did she become the social media marketing expert which she is? And for those who are watching, please add her on Facebook, join her on Facebook, join her group, and learn from her. Yes, Ada. How is your day going?
The day is going good. We just had a crazy online uh, down, we call it, because like Google, my business changed in the last month. Uh, the old app is being removed. They went more on map search, kind of like the Apple search in a sense. So the whole platform basically changed to a lot of things where they weren't like before, which it triggered the algorithm to even suspend some accounts that unfortunately they don't give us answer why they've been suspended. We have to appeal to reinstate the accounts, to re-verify the accounts. The verification process used to be much simpler. Now it's very complex to verify a business on Google search. So it's definitely been rocky from that aspect on that term of Google My Business. So even for me and my team, we kind of try to understand what transpired, what triggered the algorithm to suspend the business, learn the new ways of verifying it. It's almost like overnight a whole new platform with some things, and that's
Lots of new
challenge.
opportunities for a lot of people to work with you on. So,
Yeah.
who is Ada? How did she become Ada Bowman, social media marketing expert?
Well, like we all do, we start with something and we identify our some of our skills and strengths and weaknesses. I've always found myself to be more innovative and fast forward thinker in many levels. And I just kind of started social media really kind of when it came out in the beginning of, I would say, when 2000s they were experimenting with. So I've always been interested in those platforms. I've always been in a techie side, but at the same time, I've always had a passion for creating. So I kind of have that right brain, left brain accessible. And I understood very quickly what social media is and really what is going. So I've always focused on being a step ahead in a sense and understanding the platforms, reading and stay informed pretty much every day. And I've got to know the platforms and start gaining clients and work with them. And along the journey of working with clients, you learn even more and you apply. Um, what makes it successful for me in the business is the retention, because a lot of my clients are over 2 to 3 years, some of them 5 years even. So I feel really good when and somebody's rested at night because they don't have to worry about their online marketing in some aspect in what we handle, because we don't handle everything. I don't think there is a one person that can handle everything. And I think the audience needs to be educated about how complex each platforms is. And you can be everywhere, as Gary Vaynerchuk, if you have an empire like that where you have so many content creators and so many experts, yeah, you can be everywhere. But it's an investment, and it's not a necessarily most I would say friendly investment for that matter, unless you do want to be completely everywhere with so much content, micro down content, macro content, and we can name it from blogs to micro blogs to carousels to reels to TikToks to lives to quotes to you name it. So what content it became, it's a challenge to creativity and challenges our thinking, not just to put 3 words on a template and that's considered a post. So for me, it's very important to match the client's vision with the content, but also to educate the audience that they see that content, what's about the client's product, business, or whatever they sell, into a storytelling, into a formative, into a form of strategy. And we never really stop to one strategy. We always rotate strategies and test and implement. And in digital marketing space, you do have to do that because you do not know what answers today with 500,000 million views. And maybe you have one that's one view. And that's very normal. I think the audience needs to be educated that if you have multiple platforms and you focus on simultaneously multiple platforms, like in our case as an agency, which we do, it doesn't mean that you have to be green or have an increase on every single platform every month. That's just not realistic because the audiences are changing. They're sometimes more on Google, sometimes on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook. It depends on wherever they feel like it. So it varies, right? So you have some months where you did great on Google, where you have, like in this case, restaurant, 500,000 views, but you may not have so much on Instagram. At the end of the day, you'll still be seen by a large number of people a monthly basis, because you don't measure on daily basis. You don't measure even weekly measuring. It's still, the next week can jump so high that you don't know. So monitoring, it's one, measuring is two, setting goals and KPIs is a different form of where you said, okay, we need to set up 300 people on Instagram for this month. How do we do to do that? So goals, setting up goals are very important, and KPIs, measuring, monitoring. And as this industry, it's volatile. You do not know what happens today and tomorrow. One platform can be down, completely down. The audience and the clients needs to understand that there is a volatile industry and it's not every day exactly the same. So that's very important. That's my experience, what I've learned over the years. So how did I become in such a world widely? I first of all refused to stay on a map on one place. I knew that being digital meaning it's more than just being in one place. It's being everywhere where people listens. And you can't limit yourself to a one demographic only. And why would should you? Where I come from, I like learning different culture, work with different people. Brains are brains, and doesn't matter where they're from as long as they're used it right. And I believe we all have that. I've worked with people pretty much all over the world, from Asia to Europe to USA to Emirates, and I had the experience in every place different. And ultimately it comes to a mindset of how motivated you are and consistent, and discover that we all tend to get at some point burnout after so much thinking, because digital space requires a lot of thinking and it's hard to think, that. It's very hard to think. And then I just advanced towards more of a strategist, and I realized that I have to think and help my team to implement if they don't have enough resources or time or creativity. As a leader, you try to do the best you can to put the puzzle together, but not necessarily do the job for them. Being also in the industry, in a digital space, working with a lot of industries, not just dentistry, not just real estate. In the last 9 years, so far I've been working with literally over 18 niches, which it's been wonderful to learn the industry. But there is always, they say, an easy way out. Pick one industry, stick with that, and you can do that too, which I recommend it for effectiveness. But for me, I like to push myself and learn and learn. And in digital marketing, we say it's the same process as you milk a cow. The process of milking a cow doesn't change. Now, the cow might change, right? Not every cow is the same. Some cows might like to be milked differently. I know that's such a weird logic to put it, but ultimately it's translating to human language in a way of make it simple for them to correlate the message. Because speaking into the language of digital space, it's a little bit different than most conversations are regularly basis on daily basis. And the mind of a marketer requires a lot of focus, a lot of energy, a lot of attention, a lot of research, a lot of reading. So if you're not in the habit of reading, that's why I always promote in my personal reading books to open my mind, to keep my mind open for reading, because without reading and getting that source of information and knowledge, you cannot be really a good teacher or a good strategist to implement ongoing strategies and plans for a business, for example, or for somebody that's trying to grow even themselves online. So yeah, that's kind of in the process to a lot of challenges, a lot of trials and errors. But ultimately, it's about the mindset of figure out no matter what, because everything can be figured out. It just may not be as fast as we want to. Even though the digital space makes us like we want to right now try to get in touch with Facebook, and if you have an issue, and see if you get right now in touch with somebody. Probably not. Or Google, or no. There's a reason why they have links to read, to educate yourself about the process. There's a reason why it's automated. There's a reason why there's no human support, because imagine how many people would be needed to answer to every single question, like on social media alone. And social media is a big word. It sounds so minuscule, but it really is the iceberg of what I try to educate my clients. And it really is a monster in many levels, because not just the changes, but to understand it, to implement and be consistent at all times. It's more than a full-time job for one person. And in my passion to educate the audience is about really understanding the depth of what this is, as simple as it sounds, of, oh, we're just friends connecting on Facebook, or we're just friends connecting on Instagram. Yeah, you have those. But if you have a business, and you more likely you lean on your business, I'm willing to put my high stake bet on a lot of businesses are relying on social media on many levels. Just based on data, just based on what's out there. I see the people activities, what they put online, and how long they stay. And when we track those, it's unbelievable. In our data, we look and we see numbers. 97% of the people, a certain amount of people, spend on mobile for like 7 hours a day. Well, if that's their job, what do they do in the rest of the hours a day? If you spend 7 hours, if you have time to spend and scroll between the morning and before you go bed, 7 hours a day on social media, I think that you might be able to do something useful with it and learn and learn the platforms. It's such a time stealing, I've seen people that go to events. I've seen people that go to places just to take pictures, just to be on social media. If I were to post on social media what I have in my phone, Rehan, I think I have enough content for the next 25 years. I mean, just my phone alone stored enough of 78,000 pictures that I've never surfaced from my phone. And probably I would, and I'm not making this up, like really is, I'm looking, I said, oh my God, I have 26,000 videos in my phone alone. Just snippets, what people want today, small TikToks. I haven't even surfaced them out. I don't have the time to, I barely have time for my, myself, my own routine and my own discipline. And but to spend 7 8 hours just to scroll and just, to me it's, I mean, we have 20, what, how many hours a day, right? 24 hours, you sleep 8, what do you, 12 hours. I'm just, it's just so, I'm like, what do people do with their time? If you break down the time from the morning wake up, and if you see how much fast and social media goes, that's how it's so utilized, saturated. And today everybody's an entrepreneur. Every single person is an entrepreneur somehow. And because they end up in that rabbit hole. Oh, I'm on social media, I might well sell something. Ask them what they do. Do they really just the social media because they like to be, or they really because they have something to sell? Very few of us I found to be engaged on social media for friends. A lot of them are using WhatsApp groups, friends, or even Messenger. Like I have friends that don't even post on social media, yet they talk on Messenger with friends. I've heard a lot of business owners and people that I talk, they dislike it. It's becoming such a not pleasant experience for many, because many reasons. And I think we finally wake up to that, like, okay, this is a full-time job and it's so valuable that the only way to know it is when you do it. And when you do it yourself on multiple platforms, let me say that Instagram, it's easy. If you be just that, you will be piece of cake, right? But when you talk about some of the biggest monopolized engines online that are saturating and taking so much of people's time, data, I mean, the marketing world, it's not a game anymore. It's really a very, very its own territory where you really know what you're doing and you go for it, or you kind of dabble in it, but you're not getting too far. Without footprint in digital space that comes throughout the years, and this is very important to educate people, which I'm so passionate. I'm like, okay, think about your business now and think about your business when you want to sell it. If you want to sell your business in 15 years from now, if you were to have a really good standing business because you invested in social media marketing, well, I'm talking about ads, not just posting organic, or that's like kind of dying anyways. But to have a strategy in such a way where you maintain your business to a high level of production or thriving for many, many years. And then one day you decide you want to do something else. How much is your business worth with a good marketing plan that you've been doing over the years and you're investing versus a business that you haven't? Because that marketing investment, it's actually return at the end on the long run. And to me, it's fascinating to see that unfortunately they're still not talked about that topic. Like, it's an investment as much as you would put a brick on your house. That's the same way with social media marketing, the same way in digital space. Because when you sell it, if I were to buy a business and doesn't have a good online presence, and I know I have to invest in to do that, then I won't pay enough high for that business. And I think that makes sense, but it's just a long run game. It's not a shortcut making money. I made from Instagram like $100 a month for all these awesome reels that I put. I think that's a lot. I mean, it's still something, right? You gotta account for everything. You can't just be like the big payments, or you gotta account for everything. And social media, if you're not humble, I mean, you have to be humble. You have to willing to put the time and help people and be connected. And you may not have the time for other friends, or like you, I get so many messages and my spam is 500 messages, and I feel bad because I can't get to everybody, but I try to at least say hi. And so yeah, it's definitely a very utilized platform, not just Facebook, but in scheme of social media, we communicate on multiple channels at a very fast pace with multiple people, and we communicate several ways. We spread a message, we tell a story, we having normal conversation, we respond to questions that they have, like in business. We post about. There's so many ways we communicate through these channels that even if you want to like have a business or something that does not require social media, which I'm not really aware yet, I'm still figure out. Um, Unless you're retired, then you don't care and you just don't want to be seen, or your friends, which for me, even my friends, they're like, oh, we're keeping up with you on your social media. And sometimes I'm like, it's so much easier if I just send you a message with pictures, but it's not. It's much easier for me to post and I know they see it, because I cannot reach having such a, and I don't have millions of followers, but right now I don't know if I can handle them, because a follower without some sort of interaction in some sort of way is just somebody that's just following you, doesn't need to benefit you. So really, for me, the quality, the people that really are needed are more, it's more important than the big numbers that has almost no significance other than just, oh, I have this amount of views. I've always believed that way. This is how I build it. I didn't need a million followers. I didn't need to buy with bots. I didn't need to do black marketing hacks and there's a lot of people probably don't know, but there are two ways of marketing, holistic and white. We call it white hat marketing, and then there's the black marketing, where you can really, really make your accounts so impressive by utilizing the bots, by utilizing different techniques and tactics. And I don't think that's necessary. It might work for short term, but each platform, it's a job alone. And I wish, I hope that the audience are getting the right information, understanding. Unfortunately, based on the attention span, it's very low. I mean, people don't even read a paragraph of 20 words. It's been tested. It's been even video right now. People barely have time. If it's not so good to tell a story to really captivate you, or if it's not drama, or if it's, I mean, social media alone thrives based on facts, on dramatic, actually negative, not so, they thrive on creating it to human a frustration, to evoke emotion, because anything that evokes emotion habitually after each day, and that's including the dopamine that we get from likes, right? Why the Instagram removed likes? Why? Because nobody should care for the likes. And psychologically speaking, I think people get wrapped up in this social media platform thinking they're gonna change their lives, which they can. It definitely can change mine. I would have not been here teaching and speaking in the world and having clients and love what I do, because I really do this out of passion and love. But you got to pick your battles, and I think that's the success to manage through. It's not really being everywhere. It's being seen where it matters the most. It's being seen by who actually cares. and it's the quality. And if you don't understand the platform, the biggest advice I can give you is understand the platform first. Like, how are you going to understand the book and talk about it if you don't even read the chapters of the book, or at least glance on them and practice it? How are you ever going to do a workbook if you don't even read the instructions on the workbook? And that's just the reality. We don't like to read. We don't like to think so much right now. We want to think fast. So the habit, as you know, I'm very big into habits, to create the habits. The most disciplined habits are very boring, and it's very challenging to stick with that boring task. But do it enough where it becomes kind of habit, and then it's not so boring. It's just part of your habit if it has purpose. So whenever I put content out there, for me, I always think with purpose. I don't just randomly post. I like to make sure that I show a story in depth, or that my voice has some sort of impact on one person, even if it's, one, in a week. I'm not saying one a day. And I have like big goals, right? I want to impact so many people, because coming from a past that I came from, if I did it, what's different me and other people not be able to do it? I believe they can do it. But I cannot tell you how many nights and how many days I spent in understanding these platforms, in experimenting. And then I invested in, as you probably already know, like mentors, and going in places and events that pertained to the industry that I want to learn. Surround myself with group of mentors. Follow other mentors too, not just me doing. It's about research and marketing, digital marketing, and especially social media marketing, is a psychological neuroscience creativity process. I'm not sure if those are the best words, but it does require from each place a little bit, and put it all together in order to have a good recipe so the audience can respond. And I am fascinated with so many creators out there. I mean, what TikTok shows and reels, and people that can do. But look at when I look at the end of every reel or TikTok, they apply same tactic: FOMO, fear of missing out. It's so fear of missing out. Of, wow, look, let's create more teaser. Let's create. Yeah, that's great. Works. The brain responds to that. I think that's wonderful. But the world doesn't resume to just that. And connection is what makes us to grow. Without that kind of connection, we cannot grow, either online or in a personal life. We are meant to be connected, and through connection to grow by learning from each other and inspire each other. And that is the formula for a healthy growth. And I think I gave you all my tips for the day with my sunburn, because yesterday I was on the boat sleeping and I didn't put sunscreen. So yeah, Rehan, I only did this for you because I have so much respect for you. And I think you are such a great leader in your industry. I see you there every day, and I have so much respect. And you cannot please everybody. You can only please the ones that are willing to follow and try. It's about trial and error. If I have followers and I followed people that I tried and I didn't like certain things, I just stopped following. It's not end of the world. I mean, but that's what it is. And how do you keep going? As you probably already know, the balance game comes in. And awareness. You not let yourself carry on and triggered by what you see, because it's very dangerous to start your morning with complaining, or to start that you're that person look better on Instagram than you, or that's just very toxic. So learning to put a shield on this negative comparison self talks, and sometimes we don't even realize we're saying it to ourselves, it's very important, which requires a big amount of awareness. I'm going to end with that for today.
Thank you for that discourse, Ada Bowman. And anybody who wants to join her group, you already have 120 group members inside your group. You can join it, so I can make you the admin. You can give them assignments. You can make somebody a moderator so they can assign themselves something, because otherwise I don't want them to inbox you. Your birthday is coming, so happy birthday to you. And how old are you now? 21?
40.
Really? Wow. Doesn't look like it. Anyways, congratulations. You're going to enter a very interesting age. My uncle used to always ask me, "Are you 40 yet? Are you 40 yet? Are you 40 yet?" I was like, "What's
Why? You know, now I'm going to start
at 40?" I was like, he
40.
was like, "Yeah, well, when what happens at 40 is that you realize that you have already spent a lot of your time. You have Your body is going to start deteriorating. You will have to change your behavior, and you only can do so much more in the amount of time which is left for you. So you start cleaning yourself, your brain, your closet, your stuff, your to-do list.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so you start realizing that, and then you already know who you are, and then you start doing more of the things which you are good at and less of the things which you're not so good at. So that's kind of what happened to me when I became 45, and I think it happens to, I guess, everyone, and it's a good thing that people can realize how as we grow, and every age brings a different mindset to people, just because nature teaches us certain things. So happy birthday to you, and everybody who is listening. Please design a happy birthday card on Canva and send it to Ada. Post it in her group. Make sure that everybody in the country knows that it's her birthday, and she gets 250 million postcards, and so that she's forced to come and visit us in Pakistan in person. And there is an event in September, Ada, which I have recommended to the organizer to invite you as a speaker. I would like you to come there as a speaker, and I would like to invite you to our city in Karachi, which is in a different place from the event, and spend a few days with my family. You will, spend some time on the beach over here, and spend some time in our incubator, meet a lot of girls who are going to college, university, inspire them, teach them social media, help them connect to the world. You are a very interesting human being who has traveled the world. Uh, Been there, done that, been there, done this, so your if they rub shoulders with you, they will learn a lot and grow a lot. So thank you for being yourself. All the girls or the women who are watching, uh, Ada was born in Romania, spent life in Japan. Now she lives in Pensacola, Florida, and in the meantime she has a place in Dubai, and God knows what else she is doing. And she's a very ambitious young lady, and you can also connect with her, make her your mentor. I'm very jealous. She went to see one of the only teachers I know of, I consider as my online teacher, and she actually even get a selfie with them, and I'm like, ugh! And I
Yeah,
couldn't go.
post that. He made me promise
I
that I
didn't post.
did,
I didn't
but
even mention the name.
been there, done that. And next one, you're gonna go. You're gonna go. Yeah, I still practice meditation every single day. Like I'm putting a lot of effort into it.
So I want you to connect with a gentleman called Josh Nelson. He runs a seven-figure social media agency organization, which just did a conference in Miami, and he builds agencies become seven figures, and I think you would be perfect for what for that because your husband is in the dentistry industry, and he focuses on, and you have worked with him for so long and you know in and out of how to market him. So there are thousands of other agents, dentists like him, who would be interested in your services. Who so he teaches to market to a niche which you're good at, not everyone. So that'll help you grow a lot. And his group is fantastic. I was just got off the phone with Dennis Yu, who was one of the speakers there, who is also coming to Pakistan in September. Um,
So I should
he's
be coming for September then.
Okay, then you should definitely come. A lot of other American friends are being invited. You should come for this event. There would be at least 10,000 young people who would want a selfie with you, and you will be like a super celebrity in Pakistan if you come, just by being yourself. Bring your
It's
amazing
not
dresses.
that. I like the secret that I say to it. It's not a secret. My agency has always been employing not just people from one place. I've always been employing people who has the skill and the talent and motivation. I didn't care where they're from, as long as they can deliver the best they can. And that means you do have a chance to be indifferent, to work for me or for people like other agencies that I know. They look for skill and talented people, but learn the platforms, because it's that is the key to learn that industry, to learn that niche and say I'm a specialist into this. And when I ask the questions that are asked, and if you do not know the answers, then you might want to implement in understanding what a specialist, like what type of question we ask, for example, as a specialist. It's
I am
sometimes.
going to stop you here
Okay.
because it's 3:30 in the morning for me. I have to sleep,
Ah,
and a lot of other people who are watching wants to sleep maybe also, but they can always watch the recording. I want to just thank you for getting ready in 2 minutes, doing this live. Thank you so much for your spontaneity.
oh
Give my
yeah.
to your beautiful son and handsome husband, and tell them to come with, bring them along, and it'll be fun if they come along at least for a few days if they can. A lot of We are a very hospitable country, just like Romania, and you will definitely enjoy this country. I think. Uh, I don't know if you will. If your son will enjoy the food, but we do have a lot of French fries. So everywhere you go, he can definitely have French fries for sure. But do for sure come. It's a very interesting country. It's growing very rapidly in technology and social media. In just the last 2.5 years, because of COVID, we added 100 million new smartphones in the country. So 100 million new people just started to use smartphone and the internet and Google and YouTube and TikTok and all that good stuff. So they need a lot of mentors, they need a lot of guides. They're used to in-person communication, they're used to in-person learning, but we're trying to, you know, get them online stuff in their heads because so we can scale. And we're trying to achieve 25 million more people to start earning 5x of amount of money using social media. And we need your help, especially the woman part. They don't understand me, they don't like my faces, they want to connect with Bowman. So all the women who want to learn, who want to earn through social media, join her group. Install Canva on your phone. Make her a happy birthday card. Make her happy, because then happiness and the love goes a long way. Thank you so much, Ada, for your time again.
Thank you,
Love
Rehan.
seeing you again.
I'll
Thank
talk to you.
you. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.